guys? Ian Anderson, Central Coast Disc Golf, and we got a little Wintertime Open preview video for you. Joining me is Tournament Director and Supreme Flight man, John Tompkins.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing this, man. So we're getting right into the course. Tell us about one of the biggest changes on the course, hole one.
Hole one, we took out the mandatory. So now you can play straight at this basket.
So on the right, you can see the old Mando route, which is a really tough get. A lot of people went OB long or missed the Mando, but this, it's kind of like a USDGC type of feel.
Yeah, I wanted hole one to be the easiest hole in the course. You know, straight ahead of you, put a little pressure on you since it's tee times to start, and start out with a good hole.
Fair enough, man. And to be noted, that tee pad is very slanted upwards. So when you're on that,
it is.
Yep. Hole two looked like a raging river today, but hopefully it's calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely calmed down quite a bit since it stopped raining. We should be looking good for this weekend.
Cool. Well, what are the plays you see here?
A lot of the guys will play a forehand down that left gap. Otherwise, they're throwing a straight tunnel shot down the middle with some kind of mid-range.
Okay. And this is another slight change. You can see the last year's basket placement a little bit off to the left of this year's. Similar OB roping, though?
Yeah, the roping is going to be very similar to last year. The little stream right there dropped off out of bounds.
Cool. All right, hole three, par four. This is it's kind of a big boy hole. If you got it, you can throw a huge ante. Otherwise, you're kind of going up the middle.
Yeah, we did put in an OB rope down that left side of the fairway, so that's going to separate threes fairway with sixes fairway. Oh. So if you do take that big turnover route on that left side, if it flexes out, you do have a chance of going out of bounds there.
So kind of where Paul was last year, that would be OB this year?
Exactly, yes.
Behind that tree off to the left right now. And you see the basket is up on the little rise here. It makes for some tricky putting. Rollaways are possible.
Definitely.
It's a great hole, though, man. I really like this one a lot.
Yeah, it's playing pretty hard.
Yeah. We're on to the infamous spider hole. John, tell us about it.
Yeah, spider tree's been around for as long as I can remember. This is, when I think of Wintertime Open, this is the hole I think of, the spider tree. You know, a lot of history behind it. Definitely.
So it's like kind of an uphill, dogleg right, and then you really got to be figuring out, like, what's the best side of the tree to be on here, John?
You tend to want to be on the short side. That's where the basket's open, but that does bring the bathroom into play. So usually like short left a little bit, but there really isn't a great side to the basket.
Not wrong there. But I'd say the worst side is probably going long coming back. You're probably trying to horseshoe putt your disc vertically.
Which Paul has done in the past.
Yes, he has. Hole five, so I think you had to move this one, you said, due to the rain?
Yeah, so this basket is going to be on that little mound right before it dips down.
Okay.
So it'll probably fly right over that sleeve.
So was it underwater today or just getting close?
It was, yes. I had a difficult time pulling the basket out when it was flooded.
I was going to say, how'd you do that, man?
I was bouncing on a log the whole time, so.
The life of a TD, man. Gotta love it. So it'll be right here or off to the left?
Right there. Right there. Yep.
Cool. All right. That should play a little bit easier. Usually those discs kind of tend to collect at those late trees. See a mid-range or some forehands here. And one of the toughest holes coming up, hole 6, John.
Yeah, hole 6. This is definitely one of the harder par 4s on the course. There isn't the perfect landing zone. You know, even if you throw a perfect shot, your second shot has to be amazing to get a 3 on this hole.
That is for sure. So this is kind of the preferred gap, and then the OB line in the soccer field. What's the situation with that?
Yep. So it runs from that stump on the left side, which we just saw there, and it crosses to the right towards that picnic table under the tree. So they get a portion of this field will be safe.
Okay.
But they don't have much of it.
That seems fair.
Yep. And then it's going to cut back down this road here. So anything left of that road will also be out of bounds.
Oh, okay. I like it. And then you see your second shot's usually just a big hyzer if you got it, and then try to not go long into that OB parking lot.
Yep.
We're looking at hole 7 now. Just probably one of the easier holes out here, John.
Yeah, this one tends to get quite a few 2s, but it can, every once in a while have 4s on it as well with the basket placement on that little ridge. I've seen a lot of people 3-putt it before in the past. So
yeah, you can definitely a Sisyphus a little bit going back and forth if you don't get it close or hit some metal.
Yep, especially if it gets windy down there. This is one of the greens that gets windy is this one here.
That's for sure. You want to miss right if you're missing anywhere, and we are on to another huge change to the course on hole 8.
Yeah, this one's probably my favorite hole in the course now. It plays as a really hard par 4. We did take away the mandatory pole, which you'll see right here.
Oh, okay.
So that is now gone. The only mandatory is the first 2 trees off the tee pad. And then we tucked the basket about 100 feet left more. So it was right where those guys were standing, and now it's back on this side of the hill, tucked behind the tree near the fence.
Man, we're going to see some big numbers from those guys that can't go over the top, though.
Yeah, I haven't 3'd it yet myself, so.
Yeah, it looks hard. Hole 9, I think we also moved the basket relative to last year.
Yeah, so this basket moved to the left, so you'll see it straight off the tee pad this year. It was more of a safety thing, just because that's right where people are walking from 13's tee pad.
Oh, well
the old basket placement was.
Yep. And who's this lady, or what's her name?
That is Jen. Jen and Jerry right there.
We were following her around as we were doing drone, and she was banging everything.
Yeah, she did make quite a few putts.
She did. All right, I think I said you moved this one, or 11 you moved?
I did move this tee pad as well. This one moved before AM weekend. So this one, the tee pad's going to be back into the right outside of the trees.
Okay.
Did flood in there AM weekend, so that was moved last week.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep, so it's a little bit longer now, but it's wide open. So I do expect more 2s on this than last year.
Gotcha. This is a great hole to show off, that pro power and really take advantage of it and try to get an eagle here.
Yeah.
We've seen it quite a bit in the past. But again, you got to deal with these shrubs. They're finicky, man.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to land in the middle of one of those big bushes out there. It can be trouble.
And we've also seen some fun putts with that bush right by the basket as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What about hole 11, John?
Hole 11, we ended up moving the tee pad back to where it was last year because it was flooded. The basket's going to be the same as shown in this video here. So it's a little shorter than last year. There is a river flowing in that left side right now that's all out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
So I do expect to see quite a few rollaways into the out of bounds this year compared to last.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Hopefully it doesn't happen to anybody we like. We are looking at hole 12 now. And again, you moved the tee pad for this year?
Yeah, so this tee pad's left more than it has been. It's about 80 feet left and maybe 20, 30 feet back. It just brings in that left side of the fairway into play more. I do expect to see quite a few 2s on this, but then again, if it gets windy on this one, you never know when it comes down to putting.
Oh, that is for sure. Again, you can see some back and forth putting on this one very easily if you get a little too aggressive.
Yep, definitely.
We saw that last year with the Eagle. Hopefully you can correct that going into this year.
Yeah, and you saw that with me like 8 years ago when I was playing.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it's happened to everybody. And I bet this lake is full right now.
Yeah, it's quite a ways up there right now. So this one's going to play as a true island. You actually have to land on the island in order to proceed to the island. If you do not land on it, you have to go to the drop zone on this one.
So that's kind of off to the right where that
Yes.
old 9 was?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a pretty tricky shot to stick. You never know what kind of skips you're going to get there.
Yeah, and this basket's actually going to be 15 feet further. We put a new sleeve that's not as close to the water, but it's about the same distance, just 15 feet.
Okay. And 14, we're also playing to a new pin?
Yeah, this one's shorter than it's ever been. I just think it plays a truer par 3. It forces you to throw a nice little S-turn shot. And then this one actually has a big pond in the middle right now underneath the green monster tree.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to play casual relief. And I have spotters watching for dis on that one.
I like that change, man. It was a really, really tough birdie last year. So I think it's definitely a more fair hole this year.
Yeah.
You're also changing the Mando on this one?
Yeah, so it's a double Mandy now. It's one of the trees on the left side, and then that same tree as last year next to that tee pad.
How raging is this river right now?
It actually calmed down. This morning, it was going crazy. I didn't think we were going to play a lot of the holes, but...
Hopefully it's nice tomorrow. Here's this basket up here, tucked by the bathroom, and the bathroom concrete is OB as well?
That is correct, yeah, and we have the raised basket this year, which makes it play a little better.
Okay, nice. That's always a good hole. And this one's seen of Eagles D-line FD roller last year. It's going to be harder to do this year, though, John.
Yeah, I moved the tee pad back a little bit further, so it kind of takes that out of play. And with that new basket position of hole 8, that right side of the fairway is going to be out of bounds on this one too, and then hanging over the fence.
And super demanding tee shot on this one. You can get into some really bad trouble if you don't hit it clean.
Yep.
And you see the basket tucked in here. This little grove at the end. You have a good tee shot, you should hopefully be able to get a birdie.
Yeah, it's more of a scramble hole. You're gonna scramble from wherever you land off the tee.
Well put. And at 17, you move the tee pad forward a little bit to kind of make them run the island a little bit harder.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted more people to try to go for the island off the tee rather than just laying up and then putting across.
I dig it, man. You know, more excitement that way, right?
Yeah, see a little bit more scoring difference too.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a bunch of layups.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to see some. Man, Paul's so close to acing this so many times.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it this year with a little bit shorter tee pad. And hole 18, man, this is an iconic and extremely difficult hole to finish around here.
Yeah, so with that longer tee pad, it really makes you have to throw a perfect shot off the tee just to have a good position to get up and down and try to get a birdie on this one.
Yep. And we're about to hit the Mando tree right there on the left, that little split Y. Is that right? Yeah, we're currently on the corner. And this is, again, a pretty good scramble hole. Like, your drive is somewhere down here, but you never know what your second shot's going to look like.
Yep, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, 5 feet one way or the other, and you're throwing a completely different shot.
Yep.
And it's a really demanding second shot into a low ceiling putt.
Yeah, and then you got the OB all around the basket. You got
That's
left side, right side, and long too, so.
Definitely a tough way to finish your round. And that is the course for the 2019 Wintertime Open. John, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for running the tourney as well. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Should be some fun disc golf and kicking off the season. Can see Paul throw some Discraft. Should be great. Cool. Well, we'll catch you guys Saturday for our next day video of the year. And John, thanks again, and we'll catch you guys around.
All right, man. Take care, bro.